Out in Electric City, near Grand Coulee, is a lakefront RV resort that hosts 4 different multi-day music festivals. Stay tuned for all the information. Welcome to RV Out West. I'm your host, Brooks. My Family of Four's base camp is located in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, and our RV adventures radiate out from there. Please grab a mug of coffee and join us as we discuss RVing around the American West. From sweet camping spots, gear and equipment, to tips and tricks, we've got you covered. We are RV Out West. During the Seattle RV show, I had an encounter with Crystal of Sunbanks Lake Resort. The more we chatted, the more I was intrigued about this gem of an RV campground out in eastern Washington. Joining us today is Crystal, and we discussed the history of the campground, the best campsites within the park, where to hike in the area, the local music festivals they host, and all the amenities this resort has to offer. Crystal, thank you so much for joining us on RV Out West.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to talk with you.
Yeah, I'm excited. You and I actually met at the Seattle RV show, and we had a very long conversation there at your booth talking about what makes Sunbanks Lake Resort pretty cool and pretty special. But before we kind of dive into that, can you start and just share a little bit with us about yourself and kind of how you got into the RV industry? Do you RV, and kind of how does that all work?
We bought our first RV about 2.5 years ago, but before that we had a pop-up tent trailer. And so we go all over the state of Washington looking for different places. And I had family that actually worked at this resort. And they're like, you got to come visit. You got to come visit. And I'm like, well, it's another 45 minutes away, pampered living on the west side. And I finally came, and we've never gone anywhere else that's in the state of Washington since we first came here. And then this opportunity to open our boat rental company here at Sunbanks happened. And then I started working here at the resort, and I just love it. It's like being on vacation year round.
I started in a pop-up tent trailer. I feel like that's kind of the natural progression. Ours was Pippa the pop-up. Is there any sort of story involved with any of that?
With the pop-up trailer?
Yeah, or just, yeah. I mean, there's always just like, is there a little bit of a backstory?
So we tent camped. I can't remember where it was, but it was up in the mountains. I want to say it was up Crystal Pass. Actually, it was summer and it snowed on us and the tent collapsed, and I woke up with snow covering my face. So our next trip was a week long up in Concanelli, Washington, and it was supposed to rain. And so I went online and I literally bought one the day before our trip. I used Coleman pop-up tent trailer, and we used it for like 4 years. Loved it. They're absolutely amazing. I thought, okay, later I was like, maybe I want some bathroom facilities. So we have a hideout, a 29-foot hideout trailer. It's got bunks and bathroom. It's got a huge 50-inch screen TV and an amazing pantry, lots of storage, fireplace for chilly nights. And we actually rent that out of the boat rental company here at Sunbanks for those that don't want to cancel their trips because their RV broke down or they couldn't get one. Renting them and moving them can be a little expensive for some people. So you could actually rent our trailer at the boat shack and then call into Sunbanks and reserve your RV site, and we have it all set up for you when you get here.
Yeah, that is super cool. We're going to circle back to that. You kind of alluded to how you got involved with Sunbanks. So you were a wet sider.
Yes.
And then eventually you and your family moved out to the east side.
Right. So I am a real estate broker. And I do the entire state of Washington. So this is a good central location for me. My uncle is the general manager, JJ, here at Sunbanks, and needed help out here right after COVID, opening back up the bar and restaurant. So I initially got involved with the resort by helping him get that back up and running the first year that he could open it back up. And I've been doing that. This will be my 3rd year. And then this year I've taken over the reservations as well. And then, so we had more of an interest in this becoming our whole life now.
Gotcha.
So we moved our family over here.
So the draw for you to get closer to Electric City is that you have family out there. So that was kind of the draw. Mm-hmm. So you came out to be closer to family / be more involved in the resort.
Yeah, we just kind of took an entrepreneurship, opening up some other things over here besides the resort. It's this little town in Electric City. And so we're just like, we'd love to just come over and help revive it. And there's a lot going on here. But on your way here, you don't see anything for about 30 minutes. It's just the cliffs and the lake. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's 27 miles long.
That is so cool.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about Sunbanks Lake Resort, how it got started and what's going on with the resort right now.
So it's actually on leased DNR land. So we keep it as natural as possible. So we're not maybe as manicured as some resorts are because we keep the natural habitat for the wildlife here. So you'll see that we have a lot of shrubbery and different trees and stuff around our banks. There's all different types of birds and varmints and eagles, and we've got owls and deer and turkey and stuff and geese that live out here year round as well. A gentleman from this area, I believe. I know his name. His name was Bill Brown. He started the construction. This place was just nothing, just the rocks and the sagebrush. And I believe he was like a dirt mover kind of guy. And he came in and he designed the park that way. So at first it was just RV spots and tent camping, and it was beautiful then. And then he brought in this lodge. So we have this huge lodge that has our store, reservations, offices, where you go to check in. We have a game room. And then our bar and cantina, or restaurant and bar, are on the back side of it. And this is over 100 years old, and this was brought in from another state and put back together here in its place. So it was very cool.
That is pretty cool.
About 2000, I want to say around 2000, somebody else actually purchased it. At that time, they added the houses that are out here. So we have 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 5 bedroom houses that are rentals. And it's just like your house at home. You've got washer and dryer, huge decks, everything that you could really ask for to make yourself at home. And then we have 20 dry cabins, which are like a good alternative if you don't have an RV to tent camping. So if it rains, you're not going to get wet. And then we have bathroom facilities all over the park as well.
When did it sounds like your uncle take over ownership or management of the resort?
He's worked here for over 10 years. He started just doing some tile maintenance and some grounds work for the original, or for the owner then. And he's just worked his way up to the general manager position. So he pretty much manages the whole thing.
That's fun.
Yeah, he's doing fantastic. The park has changed so much over the last 3 to 4 years, and we're on that uphill climb of improving everything around here and trying to make it more enjoyable for people that come to visit.
That's great. I got to ask though, how fun is it working with your uncle?
Oh, he's like my brother. It's great. And everybody's like, how do you talk to him like that? I'm like, well, I know his personality. And everybody else is like, oh, I can't talk to the boss like that. It's very funny. We get along great. So we work great together. Yeah.
Okay. Tell me a bit about the amenities that are there at the resort, because that is a big draw for me.
So you can tent, you can RV, you can stay in a dry cabin, you can stay in a house. So there's an accommodation for everybody in your family, because some people don't camp, it's not for them. They don't want to get dirty or lay on the ground. So it's really good for like family reunions and big groups of people where everybody can be accommodated. What we have, where a lot of campgrounds don't have, is we also have a bar and restaurant. We serve you breakfast and dinner. We have live entertainment every weekend after our blues concerts start. Our first blues festival starts May 18th. And then every weekend after that through Labor Day weekend, we have karaoke Friday and Saturday night. And then on the major holiday weekends, Memorial, 4th of July, and Labor Day, we have a live band that plays back in our cantina restaurant on the Sunday evenings. Bar part that's 21 and over is very small. So we've had it opened up to everybody in the family, and the kids love to come down and sing, and they have an absolute blast. And we've got the light show going. It's fun. I think we're going to post more stuff on our social media this year. We've got this 12-year-old that comes and sings. I'm going to say his name. His name's Sebastian. He's absolutely amazing. He sings Sinatra, and he's absolutely amazing. Yeah, he's one of my favorite singers.
An 11-year-old crush in Sinatra. I love it.
I'm excited for him to come back. His family comes every year, and they come more than once a year. So it's just their place where, if you have pets, most of our park is pet friendly. We have a dog beach. We have putt-putt golf. It's an 18-hole putt-putt golf course.
Cool.
We are trying to revamp that. It's really hard to keep some things in great shape where they don't get broken. So I'm hoping to put new obstacles out there here this year or next year, so it makes it a little bit more fun. We also have a boat rental company. So if you want to come down and go paddle boarding or kayaking or canoeing, we also have pontoon boats and ski boats and jet skis of all different varieties. We do have a dump on site, which is free. We don't charge for that. Then we are surrounded by this beautiful lake. It's Banks Lake. 70% of our park is surrounded by the lake. And the lake is 27 miles long, and there's cliffs. A lot of people go cliff jumping. There's nice little pockets, that private beaches that you can go into. It's absolutely a beautiful place. So we have a full general store here too, and a full clothing line for Sunbanks apparel. So if you forget something at home, I probably have it here.
On the cantina, am I able to get things to go as long as I stay on property?
Absolutely. When we have our festivals that are 21 and over, you can take alcohol out onto the property.
What if it's a non-festival weekend?
If it's a non-festival weekend, you can't take it out of the restaurant bar area unless it's made to go. But we do have alcohol in our store that you can purchase as well.
I want to dig into the sites and I want to give the listeners some tips on the sites, because you and we looked over your map when we were hanging out at the Seattle RV show. And I don't know if I really want to do this, because you pointed out some pretty rad sites to me and you're like, these are pretty sweet. I believe you have one called the Eagle's Nest.
Yes.
And then you had a couple others. I want to say, I think one was maybe Site 28, I think, was like right down on the water. And then you had the other one, 4 to 7 sites. So like if you had a group of 7 trailers, we could kind of commandeer this one section. So kind of run me through all of that, throw down a few campsite numbers, and give me the lowdown on that, please.
You have an excellent memory. Yes, the Eagle's Nest is our very highest point here at the resort. And so you have the full view of everything. The whole resort is below you. Built out a rock fire pit up there. You are like up by where we do the Pope trailer parking. So you want to park your RV where it runs along the water side, and then you don't see anything behind you. And there's so much space up there. It's breathtaking, honestly. And you can see the eagles come in, and you can see the deer go up and down I guess you would call the Rocky Hill. It's not quite a mountain here that we're on, but the Eagle's Nest is our favorite. So that's where after our first time coming here to Sunbanks, that's where my friends and family from the west side would all kind of congregate to stay out of the way while we were checking things out. You were also talking about RV Site 28. It is amazing. It's really big, and it's probably about 80 feet long, and it runs along the water. So your entire site is sitting right on the water. And then underneath it are 2 tent sites that you want to rent out with that site. And they're 35 and tent site 36, because then you have this huge private beach to yourself with that RV spot. It's fantastic. The other place that you're talking about for big groups, it's called our primitive area. It's kind of in the back of the resort, and it's got its own private beach areas and little lagoons that you can walk down into. You can bring your boat up to any of our beachside tents or RVs. So if you want to pick people up right at your campsite and not have to leave the boat at the moorage all day to do that and have your family go down there, it's pretty awesome.
I have not seen the laser show on the dam since I was probably 10 years old. And I just remember going with my family. We stayed at some hotel and we were able to tell me all about it again, because I believe they've changed the show too. So kind of what's the lowdown on that? When's the show? Tell me what you can share with us about that.
Yeah, I know the hotel you're talking about. It has a great view from there. So at night, it depends when the sun goes down. So you just got to kind of check and look at when the sunset is supposed to be. That's about the time that it starts in the summer, and it starts Memorial Day weekend and it goes through Labor Day weekend, and it's nightly. So you don't have to just catch it on the weekend. It's every day of the week that you can come out and catch the laser light show. I personally have not seen the new one at all, but I hear it's fantastic. Kind of gives you a history and a story, and it's lasers that are right on the water where the water comes down off the dam, and it's just absolutely beautiful. There's also a really cool museum there that talks about the dam being built, and also the lake that our resort is on. It's a man-made lake. There used to be a town underneath it, and when they brought this lake in, the town was moved down to Grand Coulee, a lot of those buildings down there. So there's a lot of cool history.
Is there music that goes to it, or an audio? Do I need to tune to a specific FM radio band, or how do I hear it when they do the show?
I wish I had more information on this. I work so much at the resort, I never get to go to it. But, there is audio with it because there's a story, but I don't think you have to tune into something because people are sitting out on the grassy lawn there.
Yeah, and just watching the show and doing okay. Well, again,
Yeah.
that's for Google, my friends. I don't know. Do you have a couple of fun hike recommendations?
We've got Northup Canyon, which is just right down the street towards Steamboat Rock. Steamboat is a good campground. It's just right up the road. It's state park ran. We are private, so we don't get any state funding or anything like that. You get a lot more when you come here there. So don't compare us to the price points and different stuff of a state campground because it's a different experience all in itself. So we have Northup Canyon, and then there's several around here. And when you come into the office, we have a magazine that gets circulated. I don't know if you've seen it in Washington, and it'll go through some of the other different hiking trails and how to find them. But on our property across the road, there's like a causeway that comes into town. There's a whole bunch of hiking right here, just right down our driveway, really close to you too.
I want to now circle back really quick about your RV that people can rent. Your crew will just tow the RV to that site that they've booked and set it all up for them. So they just show up.
Yep. So you have to do them a little separate. If you get a hold of myself, I have the ability to book both at the same time. So it's eciboatrentals.com is the website that you go to, and you can plug in your days. Under the events list, you're looking for the Keystone. And if your dates are open at that point, then you call into Sunbanks and we book a site that will fit the length of that RV. It's 29 feet, so it needs about 32 feet total to be, in a good spot. And then we'll do both the bookings at that time. I can do it myself. But yeah, and then when you get here, because our RVs check in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it will be all set up, connected, power, water, ready to go. And then we provide all the linens and towels and pillows, and then all your basic cooking needs, and then some, because I just left all the great stuff in there already in the RV for you.
That's wonderful. What a great idea.
Yeah. We came upon it because we had some people that were calling and canceling last year. And I just have this RV plugged in at my house, just sitting there. They're like, our RV's in the shop or we can't make it. And they were really upset. And I was like, well, hold on a minute. I have a solution for you. And so since then, we've just kept doing it. But there's a lot of availability on it, believe it or not. We don't heavily advertise it right now.
Okay.
And I think in the future, if we get it and keep it booked out, then we'll get a couple more just so that we can give that to people so they don't have to change their vacation or ruin it. And we'll make sure that they have a capacity to fit, a family of 4 to 8 people. Our sleep's 10, by the way.
Is there anything that I didn't ask that you would like to talk about?
Yes.
Tell me.
What is so cool about Sunbanks is for 26 years, they've been holding these amazing music festivals. They are 4 days long. So you come in on Thursday and the music starts in the cantina that evening. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there's a huge professional stage set up. And the backdrop is the lake and the cliffs. And we have live music. So you're looking at amazing bands and performers. And behind them is the beautiful lake. You have to experience it. I don't have the words to explain it, but it is my favorite weekends of the year. It's pretty economical. It's $160 per ticket per person for 4 days of music. We're talking about 15 to 20 different bands. So you're not going to ever hear the same band twice during that entire festival. And everybody just walks around and they have a good time. And these guys, like I said, have been coming for 26 years. So they really know how to party and get down and have fun out here. And it is a blast.
Totally forgot to talk about this. So thank you. And this was on my list too. So share with us what are the weekends and kind of what are the types of bands or the types of music that's played at each of these music festivals?
Sure. So we have 2 blues festivals every year. We have one in May and we have one in September. So we call them the spring and fall blues festivals. We have the same promoter for all 26 years. So he's got it dialed in really good. The first one in May for the blues, rhythm and blues, is May 18th through the 21st. So you arrive on the 18th and you leave on the 22nd. So it is a 4-night stay requirement for the blues festival. once you get in here and you're all packed in and all of our vendors are set up, it's not very easy to get back out. So we do require in our campground area, the RV and tent area, that you stay all of those nights. We may make some exceptions for our dry cabins and our houses. And then we do have some RVs that are called the gatehouse that are on the water near our entrance. Those are the easier ones to get in and out of if you're not going to stay the whole term of the festival. If you're local to the area, you can do a day pass. It's a $50 day pass to just come for the day of music for the bands that you want to listen to as well. The next festival that we have is in June. It is our second year doing a country festival. Last year, everybody wanted to come. The first graduation in 3 years was the same weekend in Washington State that we planned our country festival, and we didn't even think about it. So the people that did come had the festival to themselves, and it was absolutely amazing. The best talent. They come from all over the United States. I don't know if you guys have heard of Jamie O'Neill. I think she's an Australian native that moved to the Seattle area. She's quite popular. Like I remember listening to her on the radio about 10 years ago. We had her last year too for the country festival. But we have a 5-part. I think they're brothers. 4 of them are brothers, and then a friend of theirs, and they do harmony country music. And they have the steel guitar, and they have the banjos. You know, that good classic old sound with like the modern harmonies, and it's so amazing with Davis Brothers, Santa Poco. We're excited they're coming back this year. Most of the people that came to our country festival, the performers, were like, I can't believe we get to play here. This is absolutely beautiful, and they wanted to come back this year. But we like to mix it up every year so we don't have the same bands all the time. So maybe some of them will come back next year too. Our third festival will be it's right after Labor Day weekend, and that is our second blues festival. And the dates for that are September 7th through the 10th. So you arrive on Thursday the 7th and you leave on Monday the 11th. During these festivals, we have breakfast Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We have an expansive, breakfast menu. We've got California omelets and biscuits and gravy and French toast and pancakes and all of your favorites. So we like to spoil our festival people. So we will run breakfast longer on those weekends for everybody. And then our brand new festival this year is our rock festival. We're like, well, not everybody likes the same type of rock. Do we do hard rock? Do we do alternative rock, classic rock? Well, we decided to go with the good classics tribute bands, the music that you've been listening to since you were an itty bitty baby, that your parents listened to maybe, and maybe some people's grandparents. It's going to be amazing.
That sounds awesome.
Our country concert is the only one that is not 21 and over. And no pet at our festivals. We do that for safety of the pets with the loud music. But the country festival, we've opened up to families with children of 13 years and older so that they can come out with their parents and experience that. And so we lock down the alcohol and have an actual beer garden.
Okay. Well, as we're getting close to wrapping up, where can everybody learn about and find out more information about Sunbanks Lake Resort? So give us all the deets. Where's the website and where can they find you on social?
So our website is sunbanksresort.com. You can email us at info@sunbanksresort. And we also have a Facebook page. So if you look up Sunbanks Resort, there's several of them, but you'll see the one that's most active. So we put our festival flyers up on there. And we just started an Instagram. This is new for me. And that is at Sunbanks Resort as well.
Well, Crystal, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me and our guests. I really appreciate it.
You're a pleasure. I loved meeting you and your son at the RV show, and I can't wait for you guys to come out and check us out and come out and stay.
That we're coming.
It's a place to be this year, I tell you. A lot cheaper than going out of state. We love it here.
Heck yeah.
It's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for listening. To help the show grow, please share with your RVing friends and family about this podcast. If you have an idea for a topic you'd like me to discuss, please contact me at rvoutwest.com. Coming up in a couple of weeks is our next destination episode of the year, and I will be sharing all about Whidbey Island. This island is only an hour from Seattle and is chock full of so many surprises. You won't want to miss this special destination episode. Now, get out there, explore, and go see what's beyond the horizon. Thanks so much for listening to RV Out West. Join us again in 2 weeks with our next episode. Please like and subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or wherever you choose to get your podcasts so you never miss an episode. And I sure would appreciate if you left a rating or a review of the show. Special thanks to Scott Holmes Music for providing the intro song, We Are One. RV Out West can be found on Instagram and Facebook, where you can interact with us and follow along on our RV adventures around the Pacific Northwest. So get out there, explore, and go see what's beyond the horizon.